The scene opens in a dimly lit cavern. Shadows dance across the jagged walls as we hear the distant skittering of countless legs. Suddenly, Anub'arak, the colossal beetle-like crypt lord, bursts forth from the earth, his obsidian carapace glinting ominously. Opposite him, a swirling vortex of shadow and flame materializes, and from it steps Cho'gall, the two-headed ogre mage, each head whispering dark incantations. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got an epic face-off that's sure to blow your mind. Anub'arak vs Cho'gall, the Undead King vs Twilight's Mad Prophet. In this video, we're diving deep into the lore behind these two titans of the Warcraft universe. We'll explore their backstories, break down their unique abilities and powers, and imagine how a battle between them might unfold. We'll also check out what fans are saying about this legendary matchup. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Anub'arak, the Undead King. First up, let's talk about the one and only Anub'arak. If you've ever delved into the dark depths of Azeroth, you might have heard tales of this formidable crypt lord. Originally, Anub'arak was the revered king of Cho'gall, the vast subterranean kingdom inhabited by the spider-like Nerubians. Imagine an entire empire stretching beneath the frozen wastes of Northrend, with intricate tunnels and grand halls, all under Anub'arak's wise and powerful leadership. He wasn't just a ruler, he was a protector of his people, guiding them through the perils lurking underground. But then came the War of the Spider. The Lich King, in his quest to expand the Scourge, set his icy gaze upon Cho'gall. Anub'arak and his Nerubian forces mounted a fierce resistance. The battles were brutal, with relentless waves of undead clashing against the Nerubians' defenses. Despite their courage and strength, the Nerubians were ultimately overwhelmed, and their magnificent kingdom fell into ruin. Anub'arak himself was slain in the conflict. But death was not the end for Anub'arak. The Lich King saw potential in the fallen king and resurrected him as an undead servant, a crypt lord bound to the will of the Scourge. Talk about a rough afterlife. Now serving the very enemy he once fought against, Anub'arak became a powerful asset to the Lich King, leading undead legions and spreading terror across Azeroth. Anub'arak's influence didn't stop there. He played a crucial role in several key events. During the assault on Icecrown Citadel, he stood as a formidable obstacle to the heroes of Azeroth, guarding the Lich King's domain. Players who've braved the dungeons of Cho'gall or faced him in the trial of the Crusader raid know just how challenging he can be. His legacy is that of a tragic figure, a once noble king turned into a relentless antagonist, his story echoing the themes of corruption and loss. So, what makes Anub'arak such a fearsome foe? For starters, he's got mastery over the subterranean world. He can burrow beneath the ground, using the element of surprise to his advantage. His control over insect swarms and the undead Nerubians means he can summon hordes of minions to overwhelm his enemies. Some of his signature abilities include Impale, where he sends deadly spikes erupting from the ground to impale unsuspecting foes. Then there's carrion beetles, allowing him to summon beetles from the corpses around him. Pretty grim, I know. And let's not forget his infamous locust swarm, surrounding himself with a swirling mass of locusts that damage enemies and heal him simultaneously. It's a nightmarish sight, to say the least. Cho'gall, the Twilight's Mad Prophet. Now, let's turn our attention to Cho'gall, one of the most twisted and fascinating characters in Warcraft lore. Cho'gall started off as an ogre mage, which is already a big deal since ogres aren't exactly known for their brains. His magical talents set him apart, and he quickly caught the eye of Gul'dan, the notorious warlock and leader of the Shadow Council. Under Gul'dan's mentorship, Cho'gall delved deep into dark sorcery and shadow magic, becoming one of his most prized pupils. But Cho'gall's thirst for power led him down an even darker path. He became corrupted by the old gods, ancient and malevolent beings seeking to reclaim Azeroth. This corruption twisted his mind, driving him to madness but also granting him incredible powers. Embracing his new purpose, Cho'gall took command of the Twilight's Hammer Cult, a fanatical group dedicated to bringing about the end of the world to usher in the reign of the old gods. Yeah, he's that kind of guy. Cho'gall has been stirring up trouble for a long time. During the Second War, he led his forces in wreaking havoc across the Eastern Kingdoms. Later on, during the Cataclysm when Deathwing shattered the world, Cho'gall played a key role in aiding the destruction. His influence expanded the reach of the Twilight's hammer, causing chaos and sowing seeds of corruption wherever he went. So, what powers does Cho'gall bring to the table? For one, having two heads isn't just a cosmetic feature. It gives him a unique advantage in spellcasting, allowing him to cast multiple spells simultaneously. He's a master of both shadow and elemental magic, making him a versatile and unpredictable opponent. His abilities include the devastating Shadow Bolt volley, bombarding enemies with dark energy. With Flame's orders and Shadow's orders, he empowers himself and his allies with either fiery or shadowy enhancements. Then there's Twisted Devotion, which allows him to manipulate and corrupt the minds of others, turning foes into allies, or at least causing some serious confusion on the battlefield. Comparing the Titans. So, we've got two heavy hitters here. Interestingly enough, both Anub'arak and Cho'gall serve higher, darker powers, the Lich King and the Old Gods, respectively. They command legions of loyal followers, Anub'arak with his undead Nerubians and Cho'gall with his Twilight's hammer cultists. Both have significantly impacted Azeroth's history, each leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. However, they differ in several key ways. Anub'arak relies on physical prowess and strategic warfare, whereas Cho'gall is all about magical domination and chaotic spells. Anub'arak is a tactical leader, even in Undeath retaining his calculated approach. Cho'gall, on the flip side, is driven by madness and fanaticism, making him unpredictable and volatile. Mentally, Anub'arak is more stable and methodical, while Cho'gall's insanity can be both a strength and a weakness. Hypothetical battle scenario. Now, let's imagine these two facing off. Picture an ancient underground arena, deep beneath Azeroth's surface. The walls are adorned with Nerubian hieroglyphs mixed with sinister old god symbology, a place steeped in both their histories. The air is thick with tension, shadows flicker ominously, and the stage is set for an epic confrontation. Anub'arak would likely use the terrain to his advantage. He could burrow beneath the ground, setting up ambushes and attacking from unexpected angles. His undead minions would swarm the battlefield, overwhelming Cho'gall with sheer numbers. Anub'arak's strategic mind would be focused on exploiting any weaknesses, using his physical strength to deliver powerful blows. Cho'gall, on the other hand, would embrace the chaos. He'd manipulate the environment with his magic, perhaps collapsing tunnels or creating illusions to confuse Anub'arak. Summoning his cultists and eldritch creatures, he'd aim to disrupt Anub'arak's plans. With his dual casting abilities, he'd unleash a barrage of spells, from shadowy blasts to fiery explosions, trying to keep Anub'arak off balance. As the battle ensues, Anub'arak's resilience would be tested against Cho'gall's magical onslaught. His undead nature might grant him resistance to some forms of magic, but Cho'gall's ability to warp reality could pose a serious threat. Meanwhile, Cho'gall would need to defend against Anub'arak's relentless physical attacks and the swarming minions. It would be a dynamic clash, each combatant adapting and countering the other's moves. So, who would come out on top? In one scenario, Anub'arak's endurance and tactical acumen could allow him to outlast Cho'gall, eventually finding an opening to strike a decisive blow. Alternatively, Cho'gall's overwhelming magic and unpredictable tactics might overpower Anub'arak, breaking through his defenses and incapacitating him. Factors like the environment, the support of their followers, and even sheer luck could tip the scales in either direction. It's anyone's guess, really. Strengths and weaknesses. Let's break it down further. Anub'arak's strengths include his undead immortality. He doesn't need to worry about fatigue or pain. His command over subterranean domains gives him home field advantage underground. His strategic mindset means he's always thinking several steps ahead. However, his weaknesses lie in his vulnerability to powerful magic. If faced with spells that surpass his resistances, he could be in trouble. Also, his reliance on physical combat might limit his adaptability against a highly magical opponent like Cho'gall. On the flip side, Cho'gall's strengths are his vast magical capabilities and the unpredictability that comes with his madness. His ability to alter reality and perceptions can be a game changer. Plus, his followers are fanatically loyal and will go to any lengths for him. His weaknesses include his mental instability, which could lead to erratic decisions or even self-sabotage. Physically, he's not as robust as Anub'arak, making him potentially vulnerable in close combat. Fan opinions and theories. Now, let's see what the community thinks. Fans have been debating this matchup on forums, Reddit threads, and social media. Polls show a pretty even split, some siding with Anub'arak's strategic might, others with Cho'gall's magical prowess. Supporters of Anub'arak argue that his experience as a king and military leader gives him the edge. They point out his undead endurance and ability to regenerate, suggesting he could outlast Cho'gall in a prolonged fight. On the other hand, those in Cho'gall's corner emphasize his overwhelming magic and ability to manipulate reality. They believe that his unpredictability and sheer magical firepower could overwhelm Anub'arak before he has a chance to implement his strategies. The fan community has been super creative with this matchup. There are amazing pieces of fan art depicting intense battles between the two, each with unique interpretations. Fan fiction writers have crafted stories exploring various outcomes, adding depth and excitement to the debate. It's awesome to see how passionate everyone is. So, we've taken a journey through the histories and abilities of Anub'arak and Cho'gall. We've compared their strengths and weaknesses and imagined how an epic showdown might unfold. Both are incredibly powerful and influential characters, each with their own tragic stories and formidable powers. Personally, I find this matchup fascinating because it encapsulates the classic clash between strategy and chaos, physical might and magical prowess. It's a testament to the rich lore of Warcraft that such complex characters can inspire so much discussion. Predicting a clear winner is tough, and that's part of the fun. But enough about what I think, I want to hear from you. Who do you think would win in a battle between Anub'arak and Cho'gall? Do you have your own theories or maybe even a completely different perspective? Let me know in the comments below, and let's get a great conversation started. Remember to keep it respectful, we're all fans here. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, it really helps the channel grow. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share this video with your friends, guildmates, or anyone you think would enjoy this epic discussion. Stay tuned because next time we'll be diving into another legendary matchup or perhaps uncovering some hidden lore gems. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Your support means the world to me. Until next time, keep exploring the lore, keep the theories coming, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care and happy gaming.